Hello everyone, welcome to the part 8 of this tutorial. So in this one we're going to continue what we started to do yesterday. So as you know, yesterday I told you now in this video we're going to set up Mobx, so the state manager of what we're going to use in this application. So we're going to make use of 3 new library in this project. So we're going to need to add Mobx, mobx-react, and Mobx-State-Tree. So first we're going to go and install this dependency. So those we're gonna install. So I'm gonna show you the version. So here in the dependency, we're gonna install Mobx with the version 5.0.3. After that, we're gonna install Mobx-React with the version 5.2.5. After that, we're gonna install the last one, is gonna be Mobx-State-Tree, and the name is gonna be 3.2.1. So this tree library is gonna be gonna help us to manage the state. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know Mobx, but Mobx-State-Tree it's maybe something new. So this tree library, the way that works, it's thing about Mobx, it's like the core of this library. Mobx-React is the binder between Mobx and React, and Mobx-State-Tree is the new it's a new way of doing the state management. And for me, Mobx-State-Tree take a lot of the plus of Mobx and a lot of the plus of Redux, and I really like it. So this is what I'm going to show you. So the way that works for me, the way I use it, it's I create a folder called models. Inside this model, right now, the model we're going to create is the CurrentUser. So this CurrentUser here is going to be all the data we're going to have from the user when we send when we get back the stuff from the Postman and everything. So that's gonna manage its logging, that's gonna manage its GWT token and all this stuff. So the way that works here, we're gonna go at the top and we're gonna import from Mobx-State-Tree something called types. So for those who came from like who do a lot of TypeScript and stuff like that, this is one of the libraries you're gonna love, because you're gonna type all your your tree, your data. So here I'm going to export a constant called CurrentUser, and this one's going to be a type of model. Here I'm going to just give it a name, and I'm going to call that CurrentUser. After that, here you can pass property. One of the property we're going to have for this model, so here it's the key below the CurrentUser you want. I'm gonna call one called auth token. This one is gonna be a string. The thing is, when we start, this value don't gonna exist yet. So the way I handle that is by wrapping that. Inside I type that maybe. So maybe with the new version of Mobx-State-Tree, mean that's going to be undefined by default. So if you don't provide a thing, that's going to be undefined by default. But if you don't provide a thing and you just keep the type string, the thing going to happen is that going to crash your app. You're going to see a red screen, we say, hey, type undefined, don't work on type string, something like that. After that, here we're going to have also information from the user. And this information is going to be an object. What I like to keep it cleaner is I create another model right here at the top, just to keep it cleaner. So I'm gonna say it's a model, the name user info, and what I'm gonna have, it's first thing an ID. So I'm gonna say it's an identifier. So identifier thing about like finally it's a way to identify the user. In here that's gonna be the ID. That's gonna be unique. So after that, here we're gonna have first name, who's gonna be a type of string. So a user gonna have a first name. Also, a user gonna have a last name. And one thing also you're gonna have is the avatar URL. But this one, we are not sure if we're gonna get provided. So I'm gonna pass the string inside a maybe. So now here, my user info gonna be a user info. But again, if I do this, what's gonna happen? It's you're gonna search to get this value right at the beginning when you create your model. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that inside a maybe. So you see, all you want as a data, you really need to tell Mobx then this is the way this stuff can be or gonna be in the future and stuff like that. After that, when you want to change some value here of this user, it's gonna be by adding action. So an action here, it's the same when you make use of Redux. It's finally what gonna change the state. Here you receive a callback where you finally get the self. So think about self like this. It's like it's the object himself. Here I'm gonna wrap that to return an object. So because I don't want to say return, I wrap that with parentheses. And now here I'm gonna create some action. So one of the first action I'm gonna want to receive, it's gonna be about logging my user. So I want to log my user. Now it's gonna be maybe a bit more complicated, but trust me, that's gonna be really easy to follow. So the way that's gonna work, it's this logging function. It's gonna be an asynchronous function. If you came from Redux, asynchronous function, you can make use of Redux Tongue, Redux Saga, or stuff like that. Here, this is already provided with Mobx-State-Tree, and we have something called flow. So the way that flow works, it's you wrap. Here I'm gonna wrap a function, but that needs to be a function generator. So now, if you have never seen that, don't be scared about this. That's gonna be pretty simple if you already know async await. So here I'm gonna receive two argument. I'm gonna see the provider token and the provider. So finally, this function is gonna be the one called inside the login screen. So when we click on Facebook press, I want to call this function from here. I'm gonna wrap that inside try catch to handle if I have any error, but I don't even gonna think about handling it, but just console log the error for now. Now, as you remember yesterday, we have created this customer API from with wretch. So we're gonna import it from API/API, and the name is gonna be customer API. So now here, what I'm gonna do is I want to receive the result. If you know async await, you know that when we do async await, we do await customer API, and now we do some stuff. Now here, we're gonna just replace that for yield. That's because of the function generator, we have access to this keyword. Here, we're gonna need to do a post request. Here, we just need to pass the data. So you see, Wedge, it's pretty nice. It's better. I think for me, it's really better than Fetch. I don't think it's better than Axios, but it provides some stuff. Here, provide our token, and for the provider, I'm gonna just go with that. And after that, what I want back, the only thing I want is the JSON result. So now, what I'm gonna do for showing you, is I'm gonna console log the result. I'm gonna say res. But before be able to use this inside my component, the way I'm gonna do this, it's I'm gonna create inside my model folder an index.js. So that's gonna be where all my model gonna start. The way I'm gonna handle this is gonna be pretty simple. First thing, I'm gonna import the current user object we have created in the last video, not video, but in the last minute. After that, I'm gonna make it a bit bigger for you. After that, here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a current user. So you say current user, and you pass your current user, and you say that create. That's it. So now we create an extension of the user. After that, yeah, I'm gonna export a store variable who finally gonna receive my current user. For helping us in the process of learning a Mobx-State-Tree, I'm gonna add Mobx-State-Tree to my Windows so we can see this in the debugger. So I'm gonna say Mobx store equal the store, so equal this value. After that, to be able to go further, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my app.js, and now here I want to wrap this stuff with the provider. So yes, if you know Redux, that's gonna be the same kind of provider. that's gonna come from Mobx-React. But because we build React Native project, we're gonna import that from Mobx-React Native. So the name is gonna be provider. I'm gonna wrap here with the provider like that. And after that, what I'm gonna do here, I want to pass all my store. So Mobx don't work with just passing like store equals store. You can pass like a full object if you want. So the way I'm gonna handle this is I'm gonna first thing import my store from my src models, because it's inside the index.js. I don't care about the file. And now I'm gonna just say store like that. Now if I jump to my debugger, I should be able to say Mobx store. So you see Mobx store now is the Windows.store I've created right inside my index.js. So now I can see my current user. So my current user right now have an auth token of undefined and info of undefined. Remember this stuff, we get that because we type maybe. If you don't like undefined, you can say maybe null. But for me, I'm gonna keep undefined. So now here inside the current user, one thing, it's now we have created the login and we're gonna try to use it. So if we jump back to the login screen, now I'm gonna show you how you can inject this kind of props. So if you came again from Redux, we are, what we do is we make use of connect, you map state to props, and for the action, you go with the map dispatch. But here what we're gonna do is we're gonna import from Mobx-React Native. We're gonna import two things, inject and observer. But before going further, I want to install a new package to let us adding decorator. So the way we're gonna handle that is we're gonna jump back to the terminal and we're gonna install a really long name package of version 1.3.5. So we want the Babel plugin transform decorator legacy. So I'm gonna install that. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my Babel RC. Inside my Babel RC, I'm gonna below the preset, I'm gonna add a plugins. Plugins take an array, and the one I'm gonna add is a transform decorator. I don't want to make a typo. I put that in dependency, but that should be in dev dependency. So I'm gonna just wrap this below. So dev dependency. I'm gonna just put this right there. And the name finally, it's almost always like that. You just keep everything after the plugin. Like that. So now for testing this, because now Expo don't know yet about this stuff, you need to close Expo to restart it, because when it starts the project, you see for the Babel RC, you don't watch for the Babel RC change. So you need to restart your Expo project. But if everything is working after I refresh, now it's my debugger, don't worry about that. Now it works. So now what this stuff let us do is gonna be pretty awesome. It's now we can inject stuff. Don't even need the observer for now. So I'm gonna start with the inject. So the way you work, it's you wrap with, sorry, I don't know what is that in English, but this A tag, and you say inject. Inject here take finally the store you want to inject. You can pass an array of store, whatever, but here we're gonna just need one. And I'm gonna pass current user. If your question is why can I pass current user, just remember inside my Mobx store I have the current user, so I just want to inject this. So now just by injecting that, just by doing this, okay, nothing more, I go to my React Native debugger. I'm gonna search for login screen because this is the name of this component. And now I'm gonna make it a bit bigger for you. And I'm gonna even, yeah, okay. So now if I click on my login screen, look what I receive now as a props. My props now, what I receive is this current user. So this is my inject props I just received. So now If you don't have this debugger, the way you can see this is just by console log, and you say props, and you say this.props or whatever you want. And now what you can do is just wait, this screen came, and now you see we have the current user right there, our token, info, and all that stuff. Now I want to be able to call this function here on my Google Press. I want to call the login. So the way I'm gonna handle that is I'm gonna say here await this.props.currentUser.login. So the function we have just created. If we look back to the function we have created, we need two things: the provider token and the provider. So first argument token, second argument the provider. So I'm gonna say Google. And why I need to pass the uppercase, because remember when we did that in Postman, we need to also always pass the provider like that, because this is the enum inside the MongoDB. So now I'm gonna do this. And now remember, inside my current user, I console log the result. So I'm gonna open back my debugger. I'm gonna click continue with Google. I'm gonna click continue. I'm gonna select my name, and I'm gonna wait. My result, boom, this token. Did that really work? If I go to my server, yeah, right there. Mongoose, we see Mongoose searching for this user, and we see now we get a 200. So this is the value already back from the backend. That's a really good step, because now what that means, it's now a user can log. One of the problem right now is this log. If I refresh, first thing, the log don't even work because we don't go further, but now the token is not there anymore. So the way under this, it's I'm gonna create another action. I like to pass it at the top, and I'm gonna say save token. Save token, because it's gonna be another asynchronous one. We're gonna say another flow. So another generator function. That's it. So save token, here we're gonna receive a token. And we're gonna pass that inside try catch. This is an asynchronous. And I'm gonna also load the error, that's it. What I want is I want to save that in my async storage. So I'm gonna import that from, sorry, it's better to do this way, async storage. Here what I want to do, finally, is just saving this value to my async storage. So I'm gonna say async storage as set item. And the autocomplete of Visual Studio Code, sometimes it's really off. You see, now I get the set item need two things. And here, what I just show you right now, it's a really good way to learn how to use it, like kind of API stuff like that. And what I mean by API is how to use library and things like that. So here, how to use React Native, use Visual Studio Code. Put your mouse over or just put the parenthesis and just check what they say. Set value for key and call callback on completion, blah blah blah. Set item need two things: a key and a value. Both are string, or you can have a callback, but that can also return a promises. So, and a promises void. What that mean void? That means you receive nothing back. So here for the set item, because I'm gonna make use of this in the future also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say const token key. Really, I cannot type. And now here I'm gonna say install, and I'm gonna say I can say token, like that. So now I'm gonna back to my set item, and I'm gonna say token key and the token. That's it. This is what I want to do. I want to save this token. After that, yeah, so save the token, yeah, like that. So here we go to the log. One of the other function we want to create is a function to get this token. So we want, when the app start from the splash screen here, this function check out is gonna be the function about it's gonna be a function inside Mobx-State-Tree. We're gonna check for this token. So I'm gonna create this function. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go top again, just because it's easier for you to see this in the middle. I'm gonna say get out token. It's a flow function. Why? It's gonna be an asynchronous one, like that. This get out token need no argument. but we're gonna wrap that inside try catch. We're gonna console log the error if we have one. I'm gonna make a typo. And now here what I'm gonna do, it's first thing I want to get my token from my async storage. So I'm gonna say yield async storage that get item. And easy peasy, we just say token key. This is gonna be the same. Now the logic we want to do is if we have a token, we do something. Else we do something else. One of the things we can already say is if I don't have a token, I'm gonna push my user to the navigation out route. So this route. That means the user, it's not, the user don't have a token, so that means he is not authenticated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say navigation service, as you remember in the last video, and now I'm gonna say navigate out. So if you don't really understand what I'm gonna do now, it's now I don't even need this stuff anymore. I'm gonna handle this by myself. So now here, if I have a token, now what I want to do is I want to put this token to my out token. The way you go do this, keep with me, it's gonna be self that out token that equal token. Now your question is like, oh my god, what is that? It's not immutable. I mean, coming from Redux, I really understand what you mean. It's like, man, here we're gonna mutate stuff. But this is the beauty of Mobx-State-Tree. You mutate, but behind the scene, they do the immutable stuff. So by doing immutable stuff for us, doing this in a mutated way, we're gonna win a lot of line of code. We're gonna have less code, etc. But behind the scene, they do all the job. And man, this library really impressed me. So if we have a token, put the token to my out token, else push this to the out. But now, what I want to do also is I want to get the user information. You know, when I get here, I want to have inside my headers my out token, and I want when I click send, boom, I get back my user. So the way we're gonna do this is by creating a get user function. Get user info. I'm gonna say that get user info. This one's gonna be another flow because we're gonna do an asynchronous call to the API. Need no argument. Try catch, and I know it's not the best way, but for now we just console log error in development. Here now what we're gonna do is we want to do nothing if we don't have a token. So we're gonna say if self that out token, and look at the autocomplete self out token, and now we're gonna do some stuff. So now we're gonna make use of the API of the customer. So we can say yield customer API. And now this one, we need to change a bit the URL because, you know, Postman here, we say customer, here is the customer API, but we need a /me. The way we can handle this with wedge is by saying .url. You just pass the argument, and we're gonna append finally to the string already here, the URL already, so we're gonna say me. After that, here I want to pass some headers. So for the headers, there's gonna be an object where I'm gonna say authorization, and now here I'm gonna pass my bearer token. So I'm gonna say bearer, and I'm gonna say self the out token. As you can see, we can have access to the value just by doing self because the self mean like all this current user. After that, this function, it's a get, and also what we want back, it's a JSON, like that. I'm gonna console log the res here. So I'm gonna stop here right there for that, for this get user info, but I'm gonna just create the last function. Keep with me, that's gonna start to make more sense, more and more we're gonna work with. I know now it's maybe kind of painful to understand it, but trust me, it's gonna be really simpler in the future. Last function, setup out. I call that setup out just because that's gonna be the function we're gonna call the two main functions for the authentication. So we're gonna say yield self.get out token and yield self.get user info. Okay, what happened here? This function is the main one we're gonna call at the beginning. This function, first thing you call is the get out token. So you're gonna do this logic first. First, you're gonna check if we have a token. If done, if we have a token, I mean, they're gonna put this inside the out token key in the user. Else, we push back the user to the out screen, the out navigator, because that means the user is not logged. After that, we call it get user info. So now we need to scroll down. Get user info, we say if we have a self out token, we're gonna do this logic. So we're gonna get the information, else do nothing. Finally, this function, it's like, okay, do this stuff first, because remember, it's like asking a wait. So we wait here, we wait this stuff finish, and after that we do this stuff. And because we check if we have a self out token, we make sure that we don't gonna get a user information if we don't have a token. So now we need to jump in the splash screen and practice the new skill we just learned about doing some inject stuff. So what we're gonna do, mobx-react, native, we're gonna make use of the inject. In this screen, I'm gonna say inject. Remember, you inject which store. I want to inject the current user store. And after that, inside my checkout, now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say, I don't know why, but I keep it to say await, but this is that prop that current user. And now in my current user, the function I want is this function, setup out. That setup out. So now you're gonna see if I save, now look what's gonna happen. First thing, you go faster than the one before, because the one before that was with a 1 second delay with the set timeout. So now you just check if we have the token. So right now, if I console log get out token and I say token, you're gonna see what's gonna happen. Boom, get a token, no token. So he go here. Oh no, I don't have a token. Perfect, I push this user to the out. But now we're gonna want to save the token. So just to showing you, I'm gonna save token. In the next video, we're gonna pass some middleware to see this action logger, but for this one I think it's gonna be simpler for you to just see this way. So here now I'm gonna click continue with Google. So now remember that gonna call the logging function. Logging function gonna do the stuff in the back end, and we're gonna receive the res. So you see we received the res. Now we want to push this res to the save token. Really easy. Now the only thing we need to say is gonna be to call this token. We're gonna save it. So now here we're gonna say if res that token. So remember the res, it's an object, res that token. So if it exists, I want to say self that out token equal to res that token, equal to this value right there. After that, I want to call a function called save out token, save token, sorry. So we're gonna save this token right there, so the same token. And now also what I want is, because I want after you log to get your user information. So why not doing this right there also, get user info. And this get user info, because now here we have already saved the token here in the out token. Now it can go further. So now we're gonna stop here after that. If everything go right, we're gonna see save token, and after that we're gonna see res with the res. We're gonna click continue. I'm gonna clean that to make it easier for you to read. Now if I click, we see save token. Remember, save token, that means we are there. So we pass from here, go here to the save token, and now get user info, we get the res. As you see now, this is the full res we receive. We receive the full object with the provider, type, and everything like Facebook, Google, and everything. But now, the beauty of this, it's inside my get user info. I can say self that info equal res. Now you're gonna love it. I'm gonna just say that. And for showing you, I'm gonna console log res again. And here I want to console log info self that info after that. So we're gonna see res and we're gonna see self info. So we're gonna see after you get a process in the info. You see now, If you ask also why I didn't need to click, set up auto token, get auto token, get auto token, receive token, auto token, call get user info, get ready read there. So we don't need to log again. And now look here, my res. I receive my res. Look at the full object right there. And now my info for me, I don't have the create app, I don't have the provider, I don't have the update, I don't have the version. The only thing I have is the avatar URL, the first name, the last name, and my ID. Why that? You told Mobx what is that? So Mobx not gonna, I don't know how you see this, but like kind of normalize your data. You're gonna just take the value you need, the value you told him he can take. And if the value it's the way you say it's a string, they're gonna take it. If you want to do one test, we can do this. I'm gonna say it's a number. Look what's gonna happen. Here I have an error. Mobx-State-Tree error while converting. And why that? We're gonna see. First name value Emmanuel is not assignable to type number. So you see, they check already your type. So you don't gonna have like, oh, a surprise. My string, my supposed string I receive now, it's an array. So you see, this way, it's pretty nice. And now, I mean, the user stop here, it's not the best. So what we can do, last thing to do for this video, navigation, that service, that navigate, main. So if we have all my information and all my stuff, it's time to go to the main. And now if I click save, you see, save, splash screen, boom. That's it. One thing is, I think you just go too much faster and that just block the, you see that just go too fast. One thing we can just do, you can wrap that inside asset timeout. I'm gonna say 1 second, I think 1 second can be good. And all my thing need to be here if I want to use that, but I'm not even sure if I need it. But now if I do this, at least we're gonna stop here for 1 second and we see it. So it can like become pretty nice to at least slow down. But for this tutorial, I mean, we can keep it. It just but for me, no. I think we're gonna jump with this one like that. And I need to see thing here because that's gonna crash if I don't, and that I just crash expo. So you see, I just crash expo. So I'm gonna need to start again. I'm gonna close my windows. And now I'm gonna say export iOS and then gonna open it back. One thing I want to say before we finish this video. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to restart my simulator, but you see the point, not gonna work. It just I didn't put anything and that just go crazy with the simulator. So the time you restart, here what I want to show you, it's always use component if you make use of inject or observer. So in the future we're gonna make use of observer, you're gonna see what. But finally, when you make use of Mobx and stuff like that inside these components, make sure that that's gonna be component, not per component, because they already do the stuff to make it a per component, but they need to receive the actual component update and stuff like that. So they need to be a component because of this. So now here, if I restart, should be good. Just to make sure we are at the same point as well where we were. So, well, that's it. So now we are here with the home screen. And just to make sure, Mobx star, current user, open current user, alt token, my Vera token, info, it's an object. I can open it with an avatar URL and all my stuff from here. So now I have all the information I have for the user I'm gonna need for this tutorial, at least for the first part. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy Mobx-State-Tree. If you didn't check the video of yesterday, in the description I have put a tutorial about Mobx-State-Tree, 1 hour free tutorial from the creator, really nice. And yeah, so we're gonna talk in the next video. Have a good day everyone. Bye.